Good afternoon, everyone. It is Monday, March 18th. I'm going to give my trade reviews for today, and I have four trades today. I usually do one trade a day. My mentor slash coach at some point told me, "Hey, you only need one trade a day in order to get to where you want to be." And I was having a lot of losses a couple months ago, and I was not focused and not using the tools that I needed to appropriately in DOTC to make sure that I was going to maintain success. I decided to drop down to one trade a day, and that helped me. And now I've gotten my emotions in check. I know what I need to do, and I'm following my system within the DOTC system, and I know I'm going to be successful. So I wound up having four trades today. We're going to talk about four trades today. Be a little bit longer than usual. First trade was at 9:43. It was a put with a strike price of 175. Now, pre-market was all about the green day. So it's all about the calls. If I'm going to do a trade and I want to make it the safest trade, I should follow the momentum, and that reduces my risk. That would have made me decide to do calls. I trade what I see. I came in here, I saw a signal for a put, and I got in at 9:43. This candle right here is where I got in at. And I put the dotted line right underneath the wick because I would need it to get below that wick in order to get a profit. Now, as you can see, just looking here, most of through at least 10:15 wasn't going my way. I am my trading commandments, I cut my losses pretty quick. So if my losses get to 10 to 15%, I'm bailing out. I'm not going to allow myself to sit in that. That's the rules that I follow within the DOTC system. I decided to get out of this trade at 10:08, which is right here. I got out at 10:08. That was a 14% loss on this trade today, my first trade. Now, if I would have decided to stay in, I would have wound up getting out of this first trade. So we're just going to roll through this, and you're going to see at some point, you can't see that yellow line anymore because it's way above. But oh, look at that. At 11:47, I could have got out of this trade. If I would have decided to sit in this for 2 hours, I could have gotten out of the trade. But I decided, you know what? No, I don't do that. My trading rules within my system is cut my losses at 10 to 15%. It takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to sit through this for 2 hours. And some of us DOTC can do it. Some of us decide not. It's on you. You are guaranteed to know how to trade. You will know how to trade, but it is your emotions and your focus and your persistence that'll get you through. So that was the first trade. I took that loss, that 14% loss, and I said, I'm moving on. Now, you don't want to get into a revenge trading situation. Revenge trading is you're pissed off because you had a loss, and now you're like, I'm getting all my money back, and I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to trade, and I'm going to put all these contracts, and I'm getting my money back. That's revenge trading. That's your ego telling you, oh girl, and you can't, how you going to you can't let us have no loss. We got to win. We got to win. If I'm in that mindset, I do not trade. Bottom line, I do not trade. I do not revenge trade. It will jack you up darn near every single time. My second trade, I did see I was not in a revenge trade mode. So I said, you know what? It's all good. You followed your rules. If another signal shows itself, you should get in. So, probably about 5 minutes later, there was a signal that came up, and that was at 10:15. This candle right here, and this was a signal for a call. I got in at $177.50, and I got out on this one at 10:21. So I got out at this candle right here. And that took about 5, 6 minutes to get in and out, but I did it, and that was a win. My third trade, I stepped away, did some other things, went back, had a few meetings that I needed to address, and I decided, you know what, when I take my lunch hour break, I'll go back and see what's going on. I got back on about 12:45, started looking and seeing what was going on. The markets were still green. So I said, hey, let me keep that in mind as I move into my third trade. And I got in on what did I get in on? I actually got in on a put. So I got in on a put at 12:51. So right here on this candle, the 12:51 candle, got in on a put. Strike price was $175, and I got in and out on the same candle. So following my signals, got in and out right here, got a win. My last trade was at 108, and I'm just watching you, watching. My 108 trade was a call. I got in at this candle, got in for a call signal, $177.50 strike price. And this took a little while to get out. I didn't get out until 121. So I got out on this candle here. And this takes some intestinal fortitude. So following my signals, getting in right here, that means I was going to need it to get above this yellow line. And I got out at this candle. So I got above. So I got out at 121. It takes intestinal fortitude to be able to ride that. But following my signals, knowing that I got in at perfect entry is everything. If I don't get in at perfect entry, it may not always go the way that I need it to go. But it's always trying to make sure perfect entry occurs. And sometimes it'll go against us. Sometimes that happens depending upon your signals, and you got to be okay with that. The majority of the time, you're going to have wins. The majority of the time, I'm having wins. 90% or more of the time, I'm having wins. So it's all good. And today was a good day. But it also helps me to recognize the lessons learned. What did I learn here? Maybe I need to pay closer attention to momentum. Maybe I need to, if I want to reduce some of that risk, I need to be mindful of that. But I also learned that, hey, as long as my ego is in check, I'm focused, I'm following my system and my rules, I'm going to be good. So I look forward to tomorrow, and everyone have a great Monday.